Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Victoria. If you are new, I am a military wife and I make all different kinds of videos. If you would like to subscribe, I would love for you to join the fam. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video is going to be a Q&A and I'm super excited because the last time I did a Q&A, I believe I only had a little bit above 1,000 subscribers. So I've gained quite a few since the last Q&A. So I just asked on my Instagram. I post a ton on my Instagram and my Instagram stories. So if you aren't following me yet, I always put all my social media down below, but I also always link it right here. Not link it, but you know, pop it up right there at the beginning of all my videos. So yeah, I'm going to answer some of these questions. I only left it up for about an hour because I got a lot of questions and I know I'm not gonna be able to get through them all. So I'm going to try to answer as many as I can, but I have all of these here. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first question is from Ashley Maccabee, and she said, how is school going? So a lot of people have been asking me about school. If you guys don't know, I am in dental assisting school using the MyCAA scholarship for military spouses. I will link that video down below where I talk all about that, and it's more of like an informative video. So it's going okay, I'll be honest. It's been really hard for me to keep up with school because it's all online and it's all at my own pace. So I've been still kind of struggling to figure out a rhythm and how to plan my time out. So if you have any tips, let me know. Our cousin Veronica, she asked, when are you coming home next? So we are trying to come home for your mom's wedding, if you're watching this. So we're trying to come home at the end of March, beginning of April, but Devin's leave hasn't got approved yet. We're trying to come home for a little bit longer than we usually come home for, but we aren't coming home for the holidays, which is kind of sad, just because Devin's work schedule has been crazy. So yeah. Ashley Maccabee asked another question. She said, if/when y'all PCS, where would you want to go? So I would love to go out west, and I think Devin agrees with me. We would love to go somewhere like Utah or Colorado or Washington. We would love to get out west. Other than that though, I'm not really interested in being in the South anymore. No offense, it's just not for us, I don't think. If we couldn't go out west, I would love to just go back to Wright-Patterson, which is in Ohio. It's about an hour from our whole family, so we really loved being there. And besides that, we loved the base and we loved everything around it. So that was really fun. We loved being stationed there. Oh snap, it's Chris asked, favorite part of being a military wife? So I like this question because a lot of people have negative things to say about like being a military spouse or whatever, like the bad parts about it, but I actually really love being a military wife. My favorite part about it is probably that Devin and I get to experience a lot of things at a very young age together because of the military. So the military has really provided for us to be able to get out of our hometown and experience new places and meet new people. We have friends all over the country, and yeah, I just really like being able to be with Devin and adventure together. Madeline Hearns, sorry if I said that wrong. She's asked, do y'all plan on having kids in the future? If so, how many? So I like that you asked if we plan on having kids. I feel like this is a sensitive question to ask people. And you worded it nicely, so I'm not saying anything about you, but I get questions sometimes that are like, when are y'all having a kid? Or like, I'm waiting for you guys to have a baby. You don't know, and this isn't our situation. I'm not saying that we're trying to have kids, because we're not, but you don't know if people have been trying for a long time, or you don't know if people don't want kids, or maybe they've had miscarriages and they don't like to talk about it. So just be sensitive when the way that you ask people, or if you ask people at all about their family plans, because you never really know what people are going through. But for us, we do plan on having kids, God willing. I hope that we have kids together, and I don't know, we've talked about like 2 kids. I think 2 kids is kind of what we want. If 2 seems like we can have a good handle on things, then maybe a 3rd, but I don't think that we want more than 3. I don't know when we plan on have kids, honestly, like probably a few years. We don't have plans on having kids anytime soon, which is probably not the answer that people want to hear or are expecting, because I think a lot of people my age that are married already have kids or are planning to have kids like right away. But that's just not the plan for us. We really want to wait and become more financially stable and experience more things, just the two of us, and get to know each other more as a married couple and spend time together, just the two of us, before we settle down and have kids. 17 AEG asked, what do you dislike about Fort Walton Beach slash Eglin? So Fort Walton Beach is like the city right outside of Eglin Air Force Base where we live. And so we don't really like the weather here. That's a big thing about why I don't like it, especially. I'm not really a big fan of the heat. And let me think, why don't we like Fort Walton Beach and Eglin? This is a very touristy area, and this is the answer that I usually give people. If you like to live in a touristy area, then this is probably the place for you. If you're a beach goer, then this would be the place for you. We really haven't gone to the beach that many times. I mean, we've gone a good amount of times, but some people that live here go in the summer, like every single weekend. The traffic is horrible in the summer. We live about 30 minutes away from Destin, Florida, if you guys are familiar with that. And I don't know, it's okay. I mean, it's fine, but yeah, it's like, eh. This same person also asked, if your name wasn't Victoria, what would you want it to be? That's a cool question. So I really like my name, actually. I think Victoria is still a little bit unique. I haven't met a ton of people with my name. I know it is a common name though nowadays, but if I didn't have the name as Victoria, I don't know. I guess I'll tell you what my mom said something about Elizabeth and Rebecca, I think. My mom always comments on my videos. Tell me if I'm wrong. What were you gonna name me? She told me something about my grandma wanting to name me Cinnamon. I don't know about that, but that's a weird name, but that would have been very unique, so yeah. Lovebug119 asked, what are your plans for Thanksgiving? So Devin actually works on Thanksgiving, so that's super fun. He's also on night shift, so that means he's gonna be sleeping all day, and then he wakes up and he goes to work. So we're gonna try to eat together, and our cousin AJ, if you guys watch all of my videos and you know who I'm talking about, his cousin is also stationed here at Eglin. He's in the Navy, and so he's gonna come over and we're gonna try to all eat together. I was gonna cook, but I decided it wasn't worth it to cook all day and be home by myself while Devin's sleeping and just like be lonely, and then probably have way too much food and then have a lot of leftovers. So we might go pick up something like Cracker Barrel or something and bring it back here. I don't know. Ashton.Ishingly asked, top 3 tips on maintaining a healthy, happy marriage as a young adult. Communication, quality time, and communication. I'm giving you communication twice because communication is so important. Devin and I have always had good communication, I think, but if you don't, I can see how hard that would be. If you are having an issue or if you're upset, you need to go to your spouse and talk to them about it. I see that as a problem between a lot of young couples that I see on the internet and people just like talking around me, is that they will go to their friends or ask their parents for advice when really you need to be talking to your spouse and figuring it out yourself. If you keep everything bottled up, eventually it's going to explode. And then quality time is really important, because if you aren't spending quality time together, then you kind of like lose each other, and I feel like you kind of forget who each other is. Like, you need to always be like getting to know each other and spending time together, making memories. It's really important. Hannah Hostutler asked, are you and Devin religious? Just curious. Love you guys. I love you too. Yes, we are. We are both Christians, and if you guys would like to hear or see more videos about that, let me know. Devin and I have been talking about this lately, how we would like to show our faith more in my videos, and so that is something that I want to do. Mackenzie White 4 said, don't really have a question, but I just wanted to say I love your videos. Thank you so much. 17 AEG asked another question, and she said, or he said, I'm sorry, I didn't click on your profile. I don't know if you're a boy or a girl. I find it hard/rare to be a milsa with no kids. Do you as well? I don't find it hard to be a military spouse with no kids, but I do find it rare, because lots and lots of couples that are our age, and there's nothing wrong with this, but a lot of people in our neighborhood that I find that are young like us have kids or a kid, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I do find it rare to find another couple that doesn't have kids. I know a couple people here who don't have kids that are around our age, but yeah, it is rare, and sometimes I can see how that would be difficult. Devin and I love kids, so we don't mind hanging out with couples that have kids, but I know some people would rather hang out with other couples that don't have kids, and that's totally fine too. But yeah, it is rare. Brittany Ellison asked, do you like living on base? My husband is leaving for BMT in January, and we're deciding, it cut your question off, but I'm guessing you said we're deciding where to live. yeah, we like living on base. I think it's a good option, especially if you're a new military spouse, because sometimes it can be super hard to research and find good places to live off base, especially when you aren't living there yet. So I found this to be true both of the times that we've PCS'd, and I found it much easier to just live on base. I mean, we like it. There's always ups and downs about living on base. Some people don't like it. We pretty much like it. I mean, there's always problems. Like, we've had a lot of mold issues here living in Florida in our house, and they had to like gut our bathroom and one of our closets because there was mold and it was disgusting, and I had to throw away a bunch of stuff. So there's like little problems like that, but they always fix it. So the other thing is that when you live on base, they take all of your BAH, which is your housing allowance. So if you would like to save a little bit of money, you can live off base, but there's a high cost of living, so it wasn't worth it for us to live off base. Honestly, we wouldn't really save much money at all. So yeah, we like living on base, especially because a lot of times you'll get a bigger house. So we live in a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and we lived in the same size house at our last base. So Cheyenne Renee asked, what was your favorite thing about living in Ohio? My favorite thing about living in Ohio was, number one, being close to family. I think it was really nice to just be able to drive an hour and see everybody. But other than that, at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which is where we were stationed last, we really liked living there. There was a lot to do. Like, there was tons of stuff to do all the time with our friends. The base housing was actually off base there. It was privatized. So we didn't have any problems like having people come over. We didn't have to get anybody passes to come through the gate, so that was nice. And we were right down the street from so much. That's what I miss about living there as opposed to here, because here it is like a 20-minute drive to get to anything if you're gonna go off base, and so that's annoying. But yeah, in Ohio, and I love having the 4 seasons, so we had all the seasons there. It was nice because wintertime you got the snow, and then the summertime it was still hot. That's another thing I don't like about living here, is that it's pretty warm all the time. We did have like a little cold front hit here, but then like today it was like it's in the 70s, and I'm like, really? Michaela Bianca asked, I love your videos in Sherman. Can you do more BarkBox videos, and what type of BarkBox to get? So I wasn't sure if I was gonna do a BarkBox this month, a BarkBox video. I do have his BarkBox for November, but it's Grinch themed, and I was saving it for his like Christmas gift. Okay, I'm a crazy dog mom, right? We got him a stocking, and so I want to get him some presents, and since it was all like Christmas holiday themed, I was gonna put it in his stocking and give it to him as a present. And I'm still gonna get him other stuff, but I guess I could maybe open it without him, because if he sees the toys and treats, he's gonna want them. So let me know if you guys still want me to film it. Maybe I'll put it into a vlog. But honestly, my BarkBox unboxing videos weren't really getting that many views, so I didn't really think people would want to see it. So let me know if you do want to see it. S.RNA, she asked, in the beginning, were you scared to marry Devin, thinking it possibly wouldn't work out? Not really. No, not really. I think Devin and I were together for quite a few years before we got married. Well, we were together like 3 years before we got married. So we kind of just knew that we wanted to get married. I feel like when you know, you know. And even though we were super young, I was 19, Devin was 18 when we got married, yeah. And I don't regret it at all. I don't really think we were thinking about that. I think we just knew. We were like, okay, well, he's joining the military. We want to be together. We want to get married. And that was it. Okay, so I just refreshed my little question thing, and I have 2 more questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer them. Sorry this is super long, but I wanted to get through all the questions if I could. So, a new perspective. Hey, I recognize you because you always are sending me messages and comments and stuff, so hi. What are your favorite healthy and non-healthy foods? Okay, this is a good question. So, Devin and I try to eat healthy a lot of the time, but sometimes, most of the time, not most of the time, a lot of the time, we really love to eat unhealthy. Like, we love junk food. So my favorite non-healthy food is probably Chinese food for sure. I love Panda Express. Like, Panda Express is my jam. Devin doesn't really like it that much, so I will get it like if he is sleeping during the day and I really want it for lunch or something like that. But I also love, like, we both love Chinese buffets. My favorite healthy food is, this is a good question. So this isn't like a food, but one of my favorite meals to make is smoked turkey sausage with broccoli and pasta or rice. That's pretty healthy to me. I mean, that might not be healthy to you, but that is like my favorite healthier dish that I make. Okay, so this is my last question that I'm going to answer, and Jasmine Jasmine Shea asked, what has been your favorite base so far? So just to give you guys a little recap, Devin went to basic, obviously, for the Air Force in San Antonio. He was at Lackland Air Force Base, and then his tech school was at Fort Sam Houston. So Fort Sam Houston and Lackland and Randolph Air Force Base are all joint base. They're not like connected, but if you know what a joint base is, you know what I'm talking about. So they're part of Joint Base San Antonio. And so I lived near Randolph Air Force Base, so I was like kind of in the middle of all of that when I moved to be near him. And so we really actually liked Fort Sam, which is primarily an Army base, but he was there for tech school for his phase 1. We really liked it there, and it had a lot to do in the area because you're right by downtown San Antonio, which there's like a ton to do. And then the next base we went was Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, which we loved. I would say that's probably our favorite. Texas is probably second, and then Eglin is probably third. I mean, we like it here. We honestly haven't been here long enough to make a good judgment. We've been here since March, so not that long, but we like it here. It's a good experience. I mean, it's been fun because a lot of family vacations here, so we've been able to see family a lot. But I would say we would both agree that Wright-Pat was our favorite. Okay guys, well that is it for today's Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love doing Q&As, so maybe in the near future I'll do another one. If you want me to do like a specific type of Q&A, then let me know. I would love to do it. I always love video suggestions from you guys. You guys are so interactive with me, and I love that. I know some people, their subscribers, like really don't comment and stuff. You guys comment all the time. I get so many messages from you on Instagram especially, and I just love talking to you guys. So thank you for being the best subscribers ever. I love you all so much, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and let me know if there's anything else you want to see, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.